Humboldt Broncos junior hockey team collided with a semi-truck around 5 p.m. Friday in Western Canada. 28 people were on board the bus, including the driver. 14 people were killed. 14 others were injured. 3 are in critical condition. The Canadian junior hockey team included players ages 16 to 20. The Humboldt Broncos team was on their way to a Game 5 semifinals playoff game. The collision taking place on Highway 35 in Saskatchewan, Canada. They were en route to the town of Nipawin. Parents of the players are gathering at a church in that town. At this hour, we are still waiting on the identities of the victims. The Broncos represent a small, close-knit city called Humboldt, which has a population of about 6,000. This photo was tweeted by the father of Broncos player Derek Patter. Patter is seen lying alongside his 2 teammates, Derek Grayson and Nick Bonding, in hospital beds. The father tweeted that they are waiting to hear who didn't make it. The team president also tweeting, quote, "Our thoughts and prayers are extended to the families of our staff and athletes, as well as to all who have been impacted by this horrible tragedy. Our Broncos family is in shock as we try to come to grips with our incredible loss." Also, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau tweeting, quote, "I cannot imagine what these parents are going through, and my heart goes out to everyone affected by this terrible tragedy in the Humboldt community and beyond." The sister of the Broncos head coach has also tweeted that her brother, Coach Darcy Hogan, is among the dead. A GoFundMe page has raised about $500,000 so far for the families of the victims. You can donate at gofundme.com/funds for Humboldt Broncos. An unspeakable, terrible tragedy north of the border, Elizabeth.
All right, Brian Yanis, thank you so much. So sad. Appreciate it.
Well, I was on my phone texting my girlfriend, and because we were near Nipawin, and all of a sudden the bus driver screamed whoa and saw the semi-truck in front of us and blacked out and woke up. I'm not sure how long later, but facing the bus. So out the window I flew out of, and not sure how long I was there for, but it was pretty devastating, and seeing my teammates lying there and bloodied and whatnot. My first instinct was to, get up and help them, but I couldn't move my legs. So, and then of course the first responder came, and she did the best she could, and EMS eventually came, and that's kind of blacked out from there.
There was a picture that I saw yesterday of you meeting the first responder who helped you.
It was definitely very emotional. She kind of told me what happened and thanked her a lot, and she gave me her good luck charm necklace, and I was just thankful. Words can't describe how heartwarming that was.
I understand you were moved. You tried the wheelchair for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
How did that go?
It was hard for sure. Just the setup. It was difficult because I've never done it before, and you don't have much core stability when you can't move anything past your chest line, and it was tough sitting in it. But pain is temporary, so just pushed through it and then got to lay in bed again.
We've been showing pictures of Canadians across this country who are wearing jerseys and sending the most incredibly loving messages. Are you hearing those?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Every little thing helps, for sure. People are putting sticks out on their front door. It's pretty heartwarming, so it's a pretty positive impact on all of us, I think.
Oh, there we go. That's better.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Spice of Life podcast. Today, the podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. So if you guys go to www.audibletrial.com/spice, The Spice of Life podcast is going to give you 2 free ebooks, and audible.com is going to give you a 1-month free trial. We're also brought to you by Monster Headphones. They're the best headphones in the business. The Duke's got the big gold ones on, and I've got the Monster Clarity headphones on. We only use Monster on this show, so go buy some fucking Monster headphones. Don't fuck around.
It is nice that you got those new Monster ones too, because they don't seem to come unplugged like those cheap, shitty ones you had before.
So those cheap, shitty ones I had before were Monster headphones. And
don't say that.
They're not cheap, shitty ones. They were $200 ones. I use those for working out because they're actually waterproof.
Nice.
So I can sweat in them. Like, most people use earbuds to work out in, but I like to have like big, bright ones on my head so that people don't fucking talk to me.
Do these ones have a cord that come up that unplug though, like the other ones? That was the problem. It's just because they unplugged from the headpiece all the time, right?
Yeah, it's because I kept getting it caught in between the armrest. So I would lean on it. And
you're so swole.
I'm fucking jacked, right?
Big.
So today, as you guys can see, I am wearing a Swift Current Broncos jersey. I'm wearing the jersey for a reason today because the Spice Life podcast has teamed up with the WHL and the Swift Current Broncos, and we're going to try to raise some money for the Humboldt Broncos. So the Broncos donated to the podcast a jersey, one exactly the same as this. They gave me my own too. And this hat, you guys can see the hat, and some pins. So what we're going to do on the show today is we're going to package all this together. So the jersey, the hat, and the pins. And we're going to auction it off for obviously for the Humboldt Broncos, and we're going to raise some money for them. So I will make a Facebook post. You can find it on my Facebook, Tanner Wilshaw, or at the Spice of Life podcast on Facebook, and you guys can make bids. But we're going to have the starting bid at $300.
How long are we running this for, Tanner?
We're going to run it for 1 week.
Okay. So I'll share it too once you post that. But you got to go to the original. You guys log in. You got to go over to Tanner's page and bid on there, not on the shared pages. Hopefully that works. I mean, I'm sure we'll figure something out. But
yeah, well, we're talking about a jersey that retails for $125 on a good day. The hat retails for $40. It's one of those flex fit 3930 hats. And these pins are pretty cool. They're a shamrock with the some numbers of some players in them. Nice. So again, $300 is going to be the starting bid for this stuff. All proceeds will go to the Humboldt Broncos, and maybe we'll pick a specific person on the team that we'll send it to. Maybe that young gentleman that unfortunately broke his back and can't play hockey anymore, but he has aspirations to play sledge hockey in the Olympics. So maybe if we can raise some money for that gentleman and get him some equipment to go be able to start doing that.
Yeah, that's pretty that's pretty inspiring already that he's working like, fuck it, I don't care, this ain't holding me back. I'm gonna switch it up, keep with my sport, and go do some other stuff. That's kind of cool. Gives him and probably the other players on his team a little bit of that survived, a little bit of positivity.
Yeah, well, yeah, good for him. Like, that takes some fucking balls to be able to do some shit like that. Like, oh, I can't skate anymore. Okay, I'm gonna go do this.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, another person did pass away. This morning they succumbed to their injuries. It was a young girl. She's 25 years old. She was a support staff member for the Humboldt Broncos. So the fatalities keep coming in, but fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty sad news, man. I mean, they don't send kids out. They go on trips all the time, and anytime you hear that, I mean, it's bad anytime somebody passes away. But when you hear of a whole team, just about a whole team passing away in an accident like that, it's pretty bad. It was a terrible accident.
Yeah, right. Shitty things happen every day in the world, but when something like that happens and there's multiple casualties, especially when it's crazy. And then there's some crazy person on Twitter. Did you see that shit?
The crazy like liberal lady that was talking about trying to make it all PC friendly or whatever the fuck, and talking all this weird shit. Like, shut your mouth. What an idiot.
Oh yeah, it was really weird that they were all male and all white. Come on. Get your fucking head together. That person should be banned. Like, she's actually been published on CNN and like the Globe and Mail and shit or whatever it is. But that lady should be banned from ever talking to humans ever again. Like, all human contact should be taken away from her. She should be kept in a cage.
Yeah, there you go.
So let's move past the.
Oh, hey, sorry. One question. How close is Humboldt to you then?
Humboldt, I believe, is about an hour and a half away from Saskatoon, I think. So it'd be about 3 hours away from here.
Okay. And now the jersey you're wearing, is that the Broncos' regular jersey, or did they change it up for the Humboldt? Because I noticed a lot of professional teams, hockey teams, made like special jerseys. So is that the Broncos' regular colors, or did they do that for the Humboldt Broncos?
So this is an original Broncos jersey, but they don't wear them all that often anymore. But this is the official one that they've dedicated to the Humboldt Broncos now. Like, this is the one they're selling to everybody in support of the Humboldt Broncos.
Okay,
so
that's cool.
Originally I was going to try to do something with the Humboldt Broncos themselves, but you can't make a phone call there right now. They've cut all their lines off.
Makes sense.
It makes sense. So I went to the next best place, which was the Swift Current Broncos, because the Humboldt Broncos are kind of like the farm team for Swift. So they do have the stuff to do with each other. Now the Swift Current Broncos have made a ton of donations around to media places and to people that want to raise money. So they've been really cool about it. So shout out to them and the WHL and all the WHL teams that have come to support the Humboldt guys. Okay, let's move on. What are we talking about today, Luke? I know we're going to talk. We're going to talk to the
John Wayne Parr's fight. We didn't talk about it on Tuesday because Cam Awesome was on and he was awesome. So we didn't have a chance to break down that fight. So
no,
I did watch it. You watched it.
I did watch it.
You watched it again.
I watched it 3 times.
Did your decision change?
No.
Oh, I made some calls too because I wanted to make sure that my analysis was backed up by big professionals. So
who'd you call?
We're gonna have. I'm not telling you shit. I'll just post it later.
Okay. So give me your breakdown of the fight. Started round 1.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, right? I think that, and of course I'm kidding. The guy message was Kevin Ross. Because messaging him for his big fight, it's coming on. He's coming on the show April 24th or 26th. We're not totally sure what day. We're recording all the shows on the 24th with him and Gabriel, and then one will come out Tuesday, one will come out on Thursday. Well, we're up in Edmonton for KO, right? So,
yeah.
And then so anyways, I messaged him about that. I asked him his opinion, and it kind of was similar to mine. So that was cool. But so round 1. Came out. In my opinion, John Wayne came out just like he always does, coming out in full fashion. Bell goes, he's ready to go. Right? He was throwing a lot of punches and a lot of kicks, a lot of combos, and his opponent Eater, he shelled up and would crack him back. Right? So he didn't answer him back with a ton of shots, but almost everything he threw landed. Where a lot of John's stuff in the first round, dude was blocking it. He had high guard, shell up. He checked almost every kick or blocked every kick with both hands. And John didn't really seem to move him around. But the other guy, when he would answer back, would get a reaction, right? So, that round was still, I think round 1 was up there as one of John's best rounds.
Mm-hmm. Are you wanting my round 1?
Hey?
Are you wanting to do my round 1 right now?
Yeah,
okay.
Might as well.
So I score fights a little bit differently than a lot of people because I think aggression and ring control are very important in a fight. And I actually had this conversation with Ryan Ford not too long ago with his fight in Russia, where they seem to think that he lost almost every fucking round in that fight, where he was the aggressor and throwing shots. But as for John came out normal John Wayne Parr, he's throwing combinations and stuff like that. Now, I did watch a little bit in slow motion where a lot of John's shots do land.
Oh, yeah?
They land to the stomach, they land to the leg a lot. So when you're judging a fight and you're in the action and you're live, it's pretty hard to see that kind of stuff. But as per volume, ring control, and aggression, I gave round 1 to John Wayne Parr.
And so did I.
I thought round 2 was just a replay of round 1.
See, and that's where I didn't think that's where I started to change it, because his opponent started to check quite a few of the kicks, and he answered with a ton of leg kicks, and John didn't block any of them. Like he ate almost every kick and would throw a punch back. So so he'd score a big right hand or left hook, or right hand left hook combo to set up his next combo. But the guy would shell back up again and then land a massive kick again in the leg. Now a kick scores more than a punch, right? So 2 or 3 punches in combination don't score as much as a kick in kickboxing rules.
Yeah.
Right? And the guy also started to throw knees in round 2 that were landing, right? And I think I felt like he took over control of the ring in round 2 and started to push John back. Right? Like he took the center of the ring and he didn't leave the center of the ring. They circled around, but John was on the outside almost the whole second round.
Okay. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. I gave round 2 to John.
Yeah. And that's where I gave it to him.
I think that's where the difference in the fight was probably round 2, because round 3 was a fucking blowout.
By the other guy.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
So
no, and that's what I mean. So, and that's actually what Kevin had said, more or less, was just, hey man, anytime, it could go either way, and it really could. And so, to go, like, it wasn't like the fight was a complete blowout and it was a huge upset. It could have went either way. I mean, if you have a judge scoring, like I said, with kicks, and that's what he's looking for, and judging that off of and answering it and doing whatever, then he's going to score the way I did. And if he's judging the way you're saying, based off of total ring control or total aggression and just moving and volume, and he's busy, then of course you're going to give it to John. He was busier than his opponent, way busier. And the nice thing with him is that still, even at 41 years old, man, the guy has gas tank for days.
Yeah, he did not get tired.
No. See, and that's where the glory rules still come back to. Like, you see a fight like that, and you're kind of like, the judges then don't. I think in a fight like that, it's almost where they go, yeah, we got to draw. Let's see you guys fight another round. Like, it was so close. And I think when you can throw it into an additional round, you don't have to make a decision the same way.
Yes.
Right? Like, I think a judge can go, you know what? That round was so freaking close to call. I'm going to give it a draw.
Yeah. Right.
But when it's a 10-9 system, and you don't want to see draws all the time, that's a fight that easily could have ended in a draw. Like, and it wouldn't have pissed anybody off because it was so close. I mean, he just barely edged it out.
Like, I wasn't mad at the decision. I was mad at the scorecards.
Yeah.
It was what was it? All 3 judges scored the fight 30-27?
No. It was 29-28.
Oh, is that what it was? I thought it was 30-27.
Yeah, it was unanimous decision. All 3 judges, 29-28. Huh. So they would have probably done 1 to John and then 2 and 3 to the other guy.
Well, there was another amazing fight on that card. I don't know if you caught it, but
No.
Raymond Daniels.
No, I didn't actually get a chance to see that. But he's phenomenal, man. That guy. He's a badass.
Like, he's not your traditional kind of kickboxer. Like, I kind of group him into a group with like a Michael Venom Page kind of style, where he's kind of loose and hands down and he can evade shots and stuff like that. But that motherfucker, they're saying that he's probably going to be the face of kickboxing in North America. I believe it. Mm-hmm. If you guys have not watched Raymond Daniels, go on YouTube and watch this guy. You'll instantly become a fan because he is super entertaining.
Yeah, he's a ninja.
Yeah,
he moves
100%.
really, really well.
Back on the John Wayne Parr stuff, I really wanted to see John be able to get his 100th win. Granted that you and I both get in trouble when we do judge fights, because we got in trouble at a tournament once. But I'm obviously biased too. I'm a John Wayne Parr fan, but on the way that I do score fights, I gave it to John. I don't think, like, in kickboxing, it's a combat sport. I don't think kicks should be judged higher than punches. Why? It's still a strike.
But yeah, it's still but so, and the knee is scored higher than a kick though still. But the reason is it's harder to land a kick or a knee than it is to land a punch.
I'm pretty sure it's probably easier to land a leg kick than a punch to the face.
Now, but a checked leg kick doesn't count. If I block the leg kick, it doesn't count to score points. I checked it; it blocked. It's null and void.
Yeah, but
it's an unanswered leg kick that scores points. It's just like saying that, you know, if you land 100 jabs and Buddy lands 70 big right hands, he's going to be ahead on the points by landing his big right hand if it's a boxing fight.
But that's apples to oranges too, right? Because you can check a leg kick, but you can also block a punch to the face.
Yes, totally. But again, if you block and parry and you move, I mean, if you're throwing jabs and crosses and Buddy's slipping all over the place, who looks better? The guy throwing a ton of punches or the guy slipping, bobbing, and weaving and not getting hit?
It all depends on how you look at the fight. If you're being aggressive and controlling the ring, then I think there's a big factor that people miss in fights. Who's pushing the pace? Who's bringing the fight?
Mm-hmm.
If there's not that guy that's bringing the fight, we don't have a fight.
That's true.
Right? That's just how I judge. We can get off that fucking subject if you want. But but that's how I look at it. If we don't have a guy in there that, like, if we have two guys that are willing to stand in the middle of the ring and bang it out, that makes for a great fight. But if we have one guy that likes to get on his bicycle, Russia.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't need you to streamline into that one, man. I already had that one done. I saw Ford's video last night playing that stuff, and I didn't see that in the live feed one where he's in the camera like, this dude's running, this guy's on his bicycle. So sock of the week this week, I got a pair of Dion socks I picked up here in Red Deer and Milano for men, and I'm dedicating these to Ryan's last Russian opponent. They're bicycle socks, man. They're bicycle socks for Russian fighters. Dion socks, head on over. If you're in Red Deer, check out Milano for men. They got a great line of socks. Or check these guys out online and order some bicycle socks in, especially you Russian bicycle guys.
Yeah, get those fucking socks, all you Russians. Get those bicycle socks. And on Sock of the Week, I did pick a pair of socks for myself for Sock of the Week. These are made by Stant Socks. They are designed by a skateboarder by the name of Tom Knox. So these are original design. But Stant Socks, I think, are probably the best socks on the market right now. You can wear them for dress. You can wear them for sport. You can wear them for fucking. Doesn't matter.
Well, I'm going to comment and give you some feedback on Stant Socks next week, because I did pick up a pair of Stant Socks for Sock of the Week next week. And I will be wearing those ones next week, but I ain't showing them yet. You're going to have to wait till next week to check those babies out.
Ooh, I love some Stant Socks. They're fucking comfortable. I bet you, are those Dion ones? Are they like a regular dress sock?
Yeah, they're nice. They're good. I got a few pairs of them. They're pretty good. I know we talked before about different dress socks, right? Like you put them on, you tore some, you got big wide feet or whatever. I got some wide feet, but the thing is, man, you can't be pulling dress socks on like you pull on your sweat socks at the gym. You can't grab them by the top and ram your fucking feet in there like you ram other stuff in places. You can't do that. You gotta take your time and roll those dress socks on. Otherwise, you'll blow the heel out.
Well, listen, I'm kind of a Neanderthal, and when I want to get my fucking socks on, I want them on now.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. So you're going to have to take it easy.
I'll tell you right now, those fucking socks weren't cheap, and I was pissed off when I pulled the top off of them.
now I got hillbilly socks.
Yeah, hillbilly socks are all good, but yeah, what'd you have, Dion?
Yeah.
That's what it is, Dion socks and Stant socks. And then the Duke's coming in hot next week with some Stant socks.
Yeah, so you can pick these guys up at dionneckwear.com. So it's DionNeckwear.com. Or if you're in Red Deer, head on over to Milano for Men and pick them up there. They got a great line of stuff.
And we do have somebody coming on. I'm just waiting for them to give me the go-ahead, but we're going to have Brian the Tick Colwell come on fresh off of his defense of his national title in Edmonton. Nice. So he's a two-time national champ.
Wonder if he was a little sad like his poor girlfriend was this morning. She was posting on the Instagram a little sad video from the car after she dropped him off at the airport.
Yeah, like 5 minutes after she dropped him off, she slid into my DM. So she's fine.
Wow. You say I'm a dick, like, and I do
Just
stuff
kidding,
bad.
Brian. I could talk to you guys about honey for a little bit while we're waiting for fucking Brian.
Oh, so you're going to bust my balls about kombucha, but you're going to talk about fucking honey now. Okay, let's do it then, Tanner. Let's talk about honey.
So this one here is for the boogeyman. He likes honey. But
That looks like some homegrown honey.
so this came right out of the hive. My wife gets it right from a bee farmer.
Really?
Which is pretty cool. Like no pasteurization, no nothing. Like drips it out into the fucking jar and away you go with it.
Is it so they have one of those like self-contained like units that then it does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it all comes out in a slide, right? And they build the honeycomb or whatever it is on there, but you can literally see him like pick it up and it's pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So natural honey is very good for you. That fucking honeybee shit from the goddamn grocery store, not very good for you.
No.
But
I like the stuff that I get out there at Nixon Farms. It's good. It's the same stuff, right? Like
same stuff, but it's creamed. I don't know what the fuck happens.
I don't know. I'm actually looking into getting some honeybees out here at the farm though.
Oh yeah,
The
you want to
acreage.
get stung?
Yeah. What? I didn't hear you say.
I said, oh yeah, you want to get stung?
No, honeybees. Real honeybees don't sting.
I don't think they do. Okay,
No, they don't.
I said I don't think they
Bumblebees
do,
sting.
idiot. You got to open up your ears. We're gonna add in the tick.
I can't see you guys, but that's okay because that would require me to see Luke. I'm good with that. How you doing, Luke? By the way, I've been getting caught up on the last 5 podcasts. You've been getting shit on a lot lately. Like, you pissed somebody off.
Well, that's just sometimes that's what happens, man.
Fair.
Do you want to explain to him, Luke, like why you've been getting shit on a lot lately?
I'm not really sure. I think because cyberbullying's not a big enough topic yet, and we need to have it brought up on the show a lot more. And I've seemed to be the guy that gets to be the face of cyberbullying, apparently.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, as the cause, maybe.
There you go. Yeah. How are you doing, champ?
I'm good. Just got back to Montreal today. Enjoyed a nice little week off in Victoria. Got to see the boogeyman while I was up there. Trained with him once. And basically took a week off, but go for a run tonight and start back into training tomorrow.
That's pretty bad that the only person he mentioned you got to see during that week was the boogeyman once. He didn't even mention your poor girlfriend who was caught up in tears on Instagram this morning after dropping you off. What's wrong with you? Didn't?
Yeah, because I miss Braidwood more. She's still going to blow up my phone all day.
Well, there you go.
I've already got, dude, I've been gone less than 12 hours. I've got 34 text messages. Like, there's not a whole lot to miss.
There you go. Well, that's okay.
Wow. Well, Brian, since you've been away at nationals and doing all that kind of stuff, your Song of the Week activity has been fucking lacking.
I am aware there's a reason why I've tried to get all caught up on 5 episodes. I have plugged from the internet. I haven't been on Song of the Week. I haven't been failing in meme wars with you guys. I have not been holding my weight whatsoever. I can admit that. That time is over. Vacation time is over. It's time to get freaking roasted on the internet by the Spice of Life and the Boogeyman again.
Well, I was disappointed with the lack of posts. I was also disappointed with the Super Channel Nationals because they fucking lied to me and they didn't broadcast it live on the Super Channel. But what they did do is tried to sell you a fucking pay-per-view on the Fight.tv thing for $119.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was really happy with how Super Channel handled this year's. Like I don't think anybody was happy with it. I haven't heard a single positive review of like video quality, of timing, of like package pricing, or even like package explanation. Like some people were paying like that's why you get the whole thing for $119 but apparently it wasn't labeled very well because some people were paying like $25 a session and trying to tune in every time and stuff like that. So, I mean, it was a short announcement before. I'm sure the Team Canada has heard a lot of that feedback, and Boxing Canada will like fix it moving forward. But yeah, not the best debut for the Super Channel whatsoever.
See, I tried to tune into your final fight, and it told me it was going to charge me $90. I was like, hey, man, I really like Brian, but I'm going to wait until I can see it for not $90.
Yeah, that's a $10 a minute. That's an expensive pay-per-view. That's me making Mayweather money at that point.
Yeah. So So tell us what happened at Nationals then. Like, what the fuck went on over there? You had some fights.
Yeah, I had 2 fights. Originally, there were 7 guys in my division. Then there was 5. Then there were 6. It bounced around a whole lot. And ended up at the end, there were 6 guys in my division. So I got the bye through the second round. In the first round, the Quebec number 1 seed, Zachariah Benbouche, I can't pronounce his last name. He fought Ben Alvarez and won. In the other bracket, an Ontario kid went up against Nova Scotia, and the Ontario guy won. So I fought him in the second round. On the Friday night, I fought like shit on the Friday night. It was one of those things. I just went like I knew I could beat the Ontario guy. He keeps his chin right up in the air, and he throws a lot. He throws a lot of combos, but his head stays right in the center and doesn't move. So I was convinced going into that fight that I was going to knock him out, and I was going to knock him out in the first round. And I fought like the Boogeyman did against Martel a year ago. Like I just threw mauling, swinging punches, beat the shit out of the guy. Don't get me wrong. It's not like the fight was close or anything, but just didn't box at all. And then on the Saturday, I fought the 2 Quebec guys. That was the semifinals, and then 2 Quebec guys, Dave Lumola, who I beat, and that Zachariah Benbouche guy. They fought. Zachariah knocked Dave out in like the first round. So Saturday night, I was pretty nervous going in because Zachariah is by far would be the best person I've fought in Canada, and I fought like total crap on the Friday night. So I was a little nervous going into the fight. Started slow in the first round, but then just took over in the second and third. Ended up winning a 4-1 split decision, and the only person who gave the fight to Zachariah was the judge from Quebec, so I'm okay with that. And a split decision against Zachariah is I'm happy with that because I mean the guy used to be 91 kg plus, so he used to be in Alexi's weight class and came down. And I mean he was cutting like 5 or 6 pounds every day, so he was walking to the ring like 212, 215. So he's a good fighter, but I beat him, so fuck him.
Fucking Quebec cheaters, man. They're always cheating out there, trying to cheat the West Coast guys.
Fucking dick.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, it's kind of that's the way it goes. You got to accept that as part of boxing,
So
it's not just the French.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if you guys watch the Parker Joshua fight, but the English are bad for it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch? Did the seeding happen total random, or did you get placed with the bye because you're the previous champ, or was it completely like out of a hat random for the seeding for the division?
So the way it works is the first day at Nationals, no matter what, they always try to line up the divisions so that they're perfectly into 16, 8, 4, and 2 moving forward. So any weight classes that have weird numbers like that, that's when it goes to the draw. So on the national team, yeah, your name automatically comes out first, and you get a bye through the first round. After that, it's completely randomized.
Wow.
So, for example, because I had 6, 6 in my weight class the first day. So 2 of us got byes and 4 people fought. So the 4 people fighting produces 2 winners. That leaves us with a perfect 4 for semifinal final. So whenever there's numbers, anything other than 16, 8, 4, and 2, that's what the first day at Nationals is about, and then they plan from there on out.
Okay.
Well, I heard that over at Nationals, Brian, that there was a WBC world champion that was trying to take your picture because you were wearing like nefarious hats.
I didn't find out about that till the last day, but yeah, apparently Jelena was trying to snag a picture of me because I was wearing the bad guy hat and the Uncle Ron hat, and she wanted to message you guys and be like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Like, he's running around here in his Team Canada tracksuit, and he's got the bad guy hat on and the Uncle Ron hat." But yeah, that was apparently she couldn't get a photo of me because it wouldn't sit still. But that was me, Jelena, just so you know.
That's funny.
And your red bad guy hat went really, because we were supposed to wear tracksuits the whole time, so I wore the bad guy hat a lot because the red matched up really well with the red on the tracksuit.
Perfect.
Tanner actually said he planned that just for that show. It was for the Team Canada.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, because then Bruno ruined it, so now I've got a one-of-a-kind hat, and the next one's going to be blue and silver. I'm pretty sure we get blue and red tracksuits next year, so that'll be all right.
Good for Team Canada. Brian, now your girlfriend's left alone, and you're back in Montreal. So what the fuck does life consist of while you're there? Is it just getting up, eating oatmeal, smacking it around in your mouth, and then doing the song of the week, putting a hat on and going to the gym?
That's my whole life. It's one of the biggest reasons why I love being here, because I love just being in the trenches and just grinding every day. My life's a schedule every day. I wake up, go train, come home, smack my lips with oatmeal and listen to song of the week, get a 2-hour break. Then I go to the second training of the day. By the time second training is done, it's 5 o'clock. Come home, eat, shower. It's 6:30, do 2 hours of homework, an hour of Netflix, go to bed and do it all over. And that's Monday to Saturday. On Sunday, I clean my house and do laundry. And, there's a reason why, the Russians and the Cubans, the Americans, why these successful Olympic teams locking their athletes away in dorms for 9 months of the year produces excellence, because your whole life just becomes about boxing and stuff. Like, yeah, I still see you guys on the Facebooks and the Instagrams, and that's great. But in terms of my day-to-day, the only people I talk to or interact with is just within the boxing program. My coaches, my physio, my massage therapist, and other athletes. So when we come in and talk, we'll talk a little bit about, the newest Justice League movie or this, that, and the other thing. But somebody's always got a fight coming up. So we're watching videos on YouTube of who they're going to be fighting or what's coming up next, what's the next tournament is. And it's great. I love being here, and I'm going to stay for a long time. It's kind of like being in a Luke-free zone. Like, once you get in, you get a taste of it. You don't leave.
I was gonna say it's about immersion and everything, but now I want to say it's about go fuck yourself, Brian.
Wow.
Guy comes to Red Deer to visit his grandma. He doesn't even call. He doesn't even write. Nothing. I got to see about it on Instagram. He's driving through Red Deer. No visit. No nothing. Unreal.
Yeah, that I did not feel bad about, but I'm sorry.
Me neither. I was too busy to meet you anyway.
So
I was going to say, you're busy in the middle of a sex addiction. Like, you really have time to visit your friends? I don't feel like they're going to let you out of the clinic. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy they give you Skype privileges and everything like that, but I don't think they're really going to let you have random visitors. Like, how do you know this guy? Oh, he talks shit with me on the internet. Well, that's definitely a relapse waiting to happen.
All right, next subject,
nothing, man.
Brian.
I can't even comment on these sex addiction things. It's so blowing out of control. It's like an alcoholic just going to the bar all the time. Every time I try to get straight, you guys are talking about it, bringing it back up. I get these mental pictures of crazy shit I can do again, and I'm out of here. I got to shut off as soon as you hang up. I'm leaving.
Well, that's what happens, Luke. That's what happens. Brian, next subject. We ended up on Tuesday having a guy that you know fairly well come on from the movie Counterpunch, Cam F. Awesome, and he had a nice message for you.
Oh, I haven't got to watch that episode. That's the one episode I haven't got to yet, but
probably should have watched it before you came on.
Yeah, that's. I was hoping to get it done today. I just didn't.
So you do know now that.
What did you have to say?
So you do know now that you can watch the Spice of Life podcast on YouTube.
I am totally aware. I always use Google Play though, because then I can download them and it becomes like when I'm going for runs or whatever like that. I just listen to the track instead of music, because I find Luke's voice incredibly motivating to run away from him.
Run away from him. Stuck in your ear. Oh man.
Cam Awesome.
I've never run a mile faster than like when you and Luke do an episode just one-on-one.
Wow. Well, Cam Awesome, he basically said that you don't want none.
Okay.
And
okay.
I can't remember what he called his fists, but it was fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Oh, he nicknamed them? That's freaking great. Feel like it'd be like Justice and Lightning or something like that.
No.
I think Justice was in there, wasn't it?
I don't know. It was like Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown or some shit like that. I can't remember what it was. but
Well, I can't wait to listen to that episode. I'm really excited when I saw you guys come on.
he's a funny guy, man. Like he's not even in the fucking gym. So I know that we had this thing with that promoter from Spokane where there was a fight that he had brought up, but maybe didn't offer it to the other party. And then there's been some back and forth where we've tried to get these messages, but we never got the messages, and now said person won't answer the phone. So,
well, I think that speaks volumes about what happened. So
yeah, realistically, can you see a guy of Cam Awesome's stature in amateur boxing with over 400 fights or whatever it is turning it down?
No, he's Cam effing awesome. He'll talk his way through a fight. So that's what weirded me out when the fight first got dropped, is I couldn't see a reason why he would say no to fighting me. So it makes much more sense that the promoter is just trying to be, I don't even know a proper adjective or descriptory word for it, but just a scumbag, just being a real Luke Spicer about it and handling the business. So that's the way it goes in the boxing game.
Colwell's on fucking fire today. This is what happens.
Welcome back. You lock him up for a week and then you let him out. Now he's out of control.
Actually, it's because I just watched 3 or 4 Spice of Life episodes back to back. So I've just been on machine gun fire of people roasting you, and just kind of got me fired up.
Fair enough. It's good. I'm okay. I'm a good punching bag for all you bigger guys. All you guys are bigger than me. You like to hit me when I'm smaller than you.
Well, hey, come on, Luke. You can't be such a fucking pussy all the time. I do have a treat for you guys today. I got a real treat for everybody. The Boogeyman couldn't make it on the podcast today. He's doing some stuff we're not allowed to talk about. But I replaced him with Dario Berdician's brother, Bruno.
Oh, we're getting 10 minutes with Bruno again. Yes.
Luigi.
Yeah.
Luigi, whatever his stupid fucking face his name is.
So good. I'll tell you because I already recorded with him, but he fucking murders it.
Oh, I bet he does. The couple he's been on so far, I've been laughing my ass off. He's got the same approach as Dario with the whole I want to kill myself. It's different material.
Well, I'll give you guys a sneak peek as to what we talk about. We talk about his living arrangement with his girlfriend and his girlfriend's parents. We talk about Fortnite. And then Bruno goes off about how Steve Bossy's a piece of shit.
Yes.
And,
oh, God.
And how Bruno should have been the main event of that card that he was on, and call Steve Bossy a tool bag and ask me to chin him.
Shit! How is your internet campaign for the Steve Bossy fight going? By the way, I've been seeing lots about it, but
listen, Steve Bossy blocked me on Instagram. It's been fairly rude, so I got to find him on a different social media platform and try to get him there.
Did he block the podcast on there?
I don't know. I haven't looked. You run the Instagram TSOL page now, Luke. That's your job.
I will check that out.
Oh, that's why it's shit the last week.
I only took it over yesterday. It was pretty good the last 2 days, I have to say. If you shit on the post, that means you weren't looking at them. Then you're bad for Canada if you say anything bad about the post from today. But I'll have to look them up because I could probably share your posts and then repost them and then tag them
in it.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, then I'll eventually get blocked.
Awesome.
But guys,
that is an election campaign that I approve of more than Trump. Is the bossy bad guy fight?
There you go. Yeah, I'm down for that.
I think it's a good fight. I think it'd be entertaining. I think there's going to be 2 guys. I'm a little bit bigger than him. As in height-wise, I weigh less than him. But I think it's 2 relatively same-sized guys with right around the same kind of boxing experience that can meet in the center of the ring and throw bones at each other's faces. Somebody's going down.
Well, yeah, we know it's not the bad guy, but I think it's a great fight. I think it's a great fight, great exposure fight for you. I think it leads, like you said, you were saying on the other podcast, only got like maybe 10. I think that's a great like splash in the water to get, like 5 or 6 in a row that you really like, and you really want with a goal in mind. I think it's a great fight for you, and I really hope that this bossy guy doesn't completely bitch out and just accepts that he's going to fight you. The internet wants what the internet wants.
Well, I appreciate. I've got a lot of messages from people saying that they'd like to see the fight because it would be a good fight. So I know that Steve is trying to fight a former champion, and that's retired. That was 2 weight classes below him, which I think is kind of shitty. But I see why he's trying to do it. He's going after name factor, which is the same thing that I'm doing. But Steve's not a champion. If that makes sense.
It's not realistic.
2 weight categories below you.
Yeah, well,
it's not that either.
How the fuck would you even get that fight sanctioned? Like, I know Quebec, the French people would probably figure out some way to get that fight sanctioned. But Brian, what the fuck are you playing with right now?
Elastic band. I fucked up my wrist at National, so my bones are all messed up. So I'm supposed to be like opening my hand, like with like the boxer's glove or whatever like that, strengthen my wrist. But Luke's face just makes me want to like pull this shit apart. So I'm just playing with it.
Fair enough.
Luke, you got a lot of fans out there, so maybe we'll wind up the show on that note. But before we get out of here, we're gonna plug the WHL team. The Swift Current Broncos have teamed up with the Spice of Life podcast, and they donated a jersey to myself and the Spice of Life podcast, along with this hat and these pins. We will be auctioning everything off on our pages. So make sure you guys go make a bid. Like, don't be a bunch of cheap fucks. So what we want to do is we want to donate all the proceeds to the Humboldt Broncos, and specifically the young gentleman that broke his back, that can't play hockey anymore, but he wants to play sledge hockey. So maybe we can contribute in some way to getting him the equipment that he needs to achieve his Olympic dream now. So again, we thank the Swift Current Broncos for helping us being able to do this, and we will be making the post on the Facebooks and all that kind of shit. So, Brian, you got anything to say before we get out of here?
It's good to be back. Missed you guys. Looking forward to getting back to training. Shout out to my sponsors, Rivalus and Popeye's supplements. And never forget, Luke is the worst thing about this show.
Can you do me a favor, though? Seriously, Brian, can you actually share some Instagram stuff of you actually boxing instead of just being like, well, I'm done strength and conditioning now. It's off to the spa to get my massage on. See you guys later. Oh, hey, Wyatt, you goof.
You know what? Out of respect for the fact that I've been just a total fucking dick to you all episode today, I will start to share some videos of me before. Don't get any ideas, though, you stupid kickboxer.
Luke, you got anything to say before we get the fuck out of here? No? Okay,
just
cool.
Don't vote Tanner for president.
All right, guys, again, this podcast was brought to you today by Audible.com. So if you guys go to www.audibletrial.com/spice, Audible.com will give you a 1-month free trial, and the Spice Life podcast will give you 2 free ebooks. And we're also brought to you by Monster headphones. The Duke's wearing the big gold ones. I'm wearing the Monster Clarity ones, guys. They're the best headphones on the market. You can get them wired or wireless. That's Monster headphones. We'll catch you guys on Tuesday. We don't know who the fuck's coming on, but peace.